listening is very important, or is extremely valuable, because it helps us understand each other. It helps us understand each other. I think one of the aspect of culture is that through listening is that it is one of the aspects of culture is that some parts of our culture, for instance, stories and music, are not are not really are not really passed down from one generation to the other in through writing, but through listening. It is passed through by word of mouth. Stories and songs are.
It is important na for us to know like may bawaan na to na sanay may bawaan or like makasabot ta na mao din iyang ang iyang iyang storya. So mo advice ta either like we give our opinions to them if ilang storya like crucial sa ilang life.
So for me, listening is a key to all effective communication. Listening is a skill that we can or that can help us to improve our productivity as well as our ability to influence, persuade, and negotiate.
In my value of listening, I feel loved and understood and able to gain a deeper understanding of who they are.
Value of listening is important so that we can really understand what people are saying.
Listening is recognizing someone's opinion, ideas, or feelings. When you listen to someone, you tend to make that someone feel loved, heard, and understood.
For me, listening is an important aspect of interpersonal relationships. When someone feels listened to, they feel loved and understood.
One, what is the value of listening? For me, the value of listening is to be able to identify that listening is different from hearing. Hearing is just merely using our senses, but listening is being able to understand, hear, and empathize with a person through our hearts. That is why listening is very important.
The value of listening is to understand what they said so you don't miss any information.
My main personal listening habit is listening to recordings recordings to transcribe them. My second learning habit is listening to is trying to or attempting to properly listen attentively to our instructors during class.
My habits when I'm talking with someone is I'll be silent until he or she will be finished on his story. Kanang sana like hilom lang ay respetad dili mo kanang sapaw-sapaw kay medyo bastos man.
First is I'm always stay focused, so it involves paying close attention, understand speaker's perspective, where I can able to put myself on their situation. And lastly is I always ask questions and response appropriately.
I feel excited samot na kung mo istorya ang usa ka tawo nako og seryoso kay siya.
Limiting any distractions while listening to somebody is one of my habits.
My personal listening habits first is when there is a speaker in front of me or anyone speaking, I tend to look into their eyes to make a connection with that speaker. Secondly is I make sure to 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 feel or to be seen relaxed so that the speaker will not be nervous. Next is I asked questions after the discussions.
And my personal habit of being a listener is to give feedback and asking questions.
One of the worst experiences or funny experiences I ever had is not following instructions.
Or funny experience for me, funny, is like kanang when they finish their story, like for sa ako mulutang ko, like ko kibaw makain mo na kung mo to muna sabot. So it's like sa ako lang funny.
And number 3, ang funny gyud na pagstorya sa katawo na utang naminaw ko kay kanang seryoso kayo siya, then mukait lag katawa kay binuang raday nang napatuo ka sa iyang istorya nga binuang raday ito nga abi nimo tinuod.
I think this is a fun experience when during the pandemic online classes, and as a political science student, we tend to have many oral recitations during our major subjects, and my one of my experience during those days is when our professor will conduct an oral recitation, and which is very difficult to listen because of the poor internet connection. What I did is that when our professor will call someone's name, me and my classmates will tend to exit the Google Meet meeting so that we will not be able to be called in that oral recitation, because we did not listen well in the discussion.
Worst experience, fun experience, we did not listen very well. I once got insulted because they thought I said something mean to them, but they said sorry, so it's all good.
And my worst experience is when I shake hands with someone because I thought they called my name.
This one for me, I would say I have a lot of experience when it comes to not listening very well. Probably the most I could remember was when I was a kid, because sometimes when we're kids we get to be tasked by our parents to buy something, and in one story I was asked who will go with me to a certain place, and I said Jan Jan. Jan Jan will go with me because Jan Jan, my neighbor and cousin, is actually present during at that time, but because I wasn't listening very well, I was tasked to call a person also named Jan Jan, not to call my cousin to come with me. So instead of doing what should be expected out of me, I decided to do what I wanted to do, because from in my perspective, it was what I heard, and after listening, it was what remained in my mind and memory. So it was really funny because the person, when I came to their house, was really confused as well, because he was not informed of going somewhere or doing something with me. So he was confused, and later on my mother was shocked because I brought the wrong person, and in the end it settled very very easily. Pero yun nga, it was very memorable because I just disturbed someone sleeping in another home and another place just because it was what I heard and understood from what my mother asked of me. So that's all for me for the 3 questions involving listening. So I hope you enjoyed, and bye-bye.